Hello everybody, I want to welcome everyone to another episode of the Booze Geek. My name is Chuck, I am your host, and on tap for you this evening, we're going to be tasting and reviewing a pretty special collaboration beer between Boulevard Brewing, which is located in Kansas City, Missouri, and number 2, Floyds Brewing, which is located in Munster, Indiana. So the beer we're going to be tasting is actually a barley wine style ale. And for those of you who don't know what a barley wine ale is, it is generally a term used to describe an extremely strong ale. And when I mean strong, I'm talking ABV strong, because it's normally over 10% or over 11%, sometimes even over 12% ABV. And also, usually they are barrel aged in some type of barrel, whether they're, wine barrels or spirit barrels, things like that. So it's those two things that generally make a barley wine style ale. So the barley wine we're going to be tasting today, or the barley wine ale, I should say, this is the Deep Flux. The Deep Flux. So, as I mentioned, barley wine style ale. And now coming back to rule number one, the strong ABV. Well, we're talking strong on this bad boy. We are talking a whoppingly huge 14.3% ABV. So item number one, check that off the box. This nails it. Item number two, in its aging process, it is not aged in not just one barrel, but 2 different types of barrels. So number 2, check that off the box too. But for 60% of the aging process, it is aged in rye whiskey barrels. And then, to end the process for the last 40%, it is aged in Madeira wine cask barrels. So we got the strong ABV, we got the barrel aging, we got the barley wine style ale. So, and to finish it off, of course, the IBU on this one is a relatively puny 20. So there you go. There's all the stats on this bad boy. But you know what? I'm cracking the top on this one. I really want to try this beer. I'm really excited. I'm diving in. Let's do it. Party on. Deep Flux, here we go. Right and roll. Right and roll. Rock and roll. I'm going to rock and roll with my right and roll. But we just cracked it, and just a tiny little smoke coming out of this bottle here. Let me get a little tulip glass. Give this a nice pour. Oh, that's enough. 14%, 14.3%, that's enough. Oh, nice color there. Nice, it's a dark copper color. Hopefully you can see that on camera. And an extremely thin veiled, that's not even a quarter of a finger of carbonation, just off white. It's almost mimicking in the copper. It's a white with a copper-esque tone to it. But let's give this funky bunch here, let's give this a swirl, and we will get the aromas moving on this. We will give this a nose. Here we go. And this is going to be a big one. I have a gut feeling. Here we go. Whoa, big it is. This is big. Very big, very big. Let's get one more. Here we go. One more. Okay. Well, we're getting some oak. We're getting some dark cherry. Gives another little sniff here. We're getting a definite alcohol boozy-esque aroma. that was kind of expected. It's there. Luckily, it's not killing the other aromas, but it's definitely there. And just a hint of citrus. Maybe it's a little bit of orange peel on this. Yeah, but I'm going to keep swirling and make sure this warms up just a tad and get a nice open beer here. All right. Do or die. Here we go. Wow, is that a big, huge mouthful beer. This is so full-bodied. Wow. Really extremely full-bodied. One of these is enough for me. But let's get some of those flavors going. What do we got here? Well, I don't think I'm feeling it yet. We definitely have some oak. We have some of that dark cherry coming through and some cherry, more than likely from the Madeira wine casks. We got a little bit of that spice coming through, more than likely from the rye barrel whiskey, the rye whiskey barrels. But there's also, I mean, there's a caramel sweetness coming through. There's a brown sugar sweetness coming through. And surprisingly, there's a little bit of that citrus. Let me get one more swig here because, I mean, this, I can't get over. This is so full-bodied. It's ridiculous. It's really oily and just drapes everything in your mouth, the palate, the taste buds, everything. But there is a little of that citrus coming through. There is some orange peel, slight hint of, a really slight hint of lemon. And ironically, I gotta admit, now on the nose, there was a waft of the booziness coming out. On the palate, not as much. It's real. I mean, it's there a little bit. It is slight, but it's not as overpowering of an alcoholic aftertaste as you would think. It really, really isn't. I'm not going to say this is easy drinking because it's very heavy. And like I said, one would probably do me in. But, I mean, this is a really, really good beer. Or barley wine style ale. Excuse me. I really do like this. I'm going to give this, you know what? I'm giving this a straight up 9. I do like this. I like this a lot more than I thought, even though I do like the breweries, the beers that both the breweries brew by themselves. I really like their beers. Really good beer. This is a 9. My only complaint, and it's not even a complaint, I just wish the aromas, I wish there was a little more on the aromas, a little more complexity in the aromas, because the flavor profile is really deep and really complex. I just wish the aromas was a little bit more complex, because the alcohol, while the alcohol aroma doesn't kill everything, it's a little overpowering, and I wish some more of the slight citrus, and so I wish there was a little bit of spice on the aromas, maybe, that would be from the whiskey barrels, and a little bit more of the fruit or the dark fruit that would have came from the Madeira wine casks. But outside of that, straight up 9. I really like this beer. I truly recommend everyone going out and getting a 4-pack. Well done job, well done collaboration beer. And on that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning into this episode. I know this one was a little bit longer than usual, but hey, the beer's worth it, right? It's totally worth it. And on that note, as always, you can follow me at the website, which is www.pubshaveapintin.com, or at the blog, www.pubshaveapintin.blogspot.com. And if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. And if you feel so inclined, leave a comment down below. And on that note, we will see you on the next episode. Everyone raise a pint, as always. Cheers, Prost, and enjoy.